Hello, and we're back for the final in the Tomatin series of the Sherry collection. This week is a 17-year-old Pedro Jimenez finish. This is the longest finish, it's the oldest they've got in the Sherry collection. It's Pedro Jimenez. We all know kind of Pedro Jimenez. Some of the favourites, one of my favourites from Tomatin has been a single cask bottle your own from, it was a Pedro Jimenez and it was sensational. Absolutely loved it. This is 17 years old, 46%, non-chill filtered, natural colour, just the way we like it. Again, Tomatin, Highland Distillery, one of the biggest distilleries in the 60s and 70s, producing around about 12 million litres of pure alcohol, the biggest in at time, going through trials and tribulations throughout its career, or its tenure, and still to this day, we're back, we're producing about 2 to 2.1 million litres of pure alcohol, of quality spirit instead of quantity. So the times have changed. Bringing out these different finishes, different collections. This being the Sherry collection, as I said, this is the third. So we've had the Manzanilla, the Paulo Cortado, and now the Pedro Jimenez. The colour of this is beautiful. I've shared a lot of this out, as you can see, and I keep kind of going back to this. I can't really help myself. I've been enjoying it, but I've not really sat down and broke it down. So I thought, why not review this one 3 weeks in a row? We've done Tomatin, which is great to just get the full series one after the other. 17 years old, the same similar processes with aged and refill bourbon, then it's finishing time. We look at this as the finishing time. This has been 8 years in Pedro Jimenez, nearly half its time in refill bourbon and half the time in Pedro Jimenez Sherry. This still has colour to it. You can still see through this. This isn't your super dark, just sherry notes. There's going to be underlying notes there from the spirit, and that's what Tomatin want to do. Tomatin always want to have the DNA at hand, from what we can always see. So hoping to get that today and see what other flavours we can get. Pedro Jimenez is one of the sweetest, sorry, is the sweetest sherry in the world. It's one of the sweetest drinks. I think it's got about the equivalent to, it's like 8 cans of Coca-Cola sugar, equivalent to something crazy like that in the medicinal sugar. So if you like sweet things, this is probably going to be the style you go for. A lot of things we do see in whiskey, Oloroso, sherry, and Pedro Jimenez. PX on its own, I would always say to people to try it. Neat to see what you're actually trying of that raw product. Same with new make spirit at distillery. Try that as well. I like to try each one when I'm there. Say Tomatin has always got this crazy rhubarb note to it. It's wonderful rhubarb pie. It's bizarre because I don't really get it anywhere else. But that's that long fermentation process, 165 hours, one of the longest in Scotch whisky. But an 8-year finish. Some people say it's a double aged, but it's still a finish to this. It's not succeeded the actual initial one itself, but it's close. It is very, very close. But this is just going to be a big sherry bomb. Well, I suspect to be a big sherry bomb from what I've had, but still got everything else to it. A Highland Distillery up at the A9, south at Inverness, easy enough to get to. Limited edition to this one, I can't remember exactly. I think it's less than 2,000 bottles on this. I think a lot to do with age as well. But I want to just get into the colour first. It is amber copper, iron brew for the Scots out there. It's got a kind of iron brew tinge to it. If you can just, hopefully that will focus and see. Swirl it in the glass as always, in the legs. It's taking its time. It's a sherry, right? It's PX. I wish I had a better camera, but I hope it does. They're just kind of sticking, and I think if I put this down and I sat for 10 minutes, we would still see this line from where I've been able to swirl it to. It's just, they're still going down. That looks like longevity. That looks like it's going to have mouthfeel to me. It's just got a lot going on. Again, something that I like in a whiskey. We'll get this on the nose and see where we go from there. So first, well, as I say, I've tried this before. As you can see, I've getting a lot of it out. But let's see what we get on the nose with this one. That's just that's sticky toffee pudding. But there's an undernote to that. It's toffee. It's toffee cake, but there's a soft element of the bourbon coming through in that. There is an undernote of there's weird Moscato brown sugar. I would say melted or burnt brown sugar, but there's also that kind of white sugar, lemon. Not I wouldn't say lime, but not fresh lemon. Just an easier, not tangy, right? Just a softer lemon, more like a maybe a lemon drizzle. Toffee. There's dates in there. A tight, a little bit of leather. Yeah, a little bit of leather in there as well. This isn't. It's bizarre because of the age of it and the finish. This isn't bizarrely in your face. This is pure sherry. This has the balance of the distillery and of the finish. Sticky toffee pudding, lemon drizzle, soft leather, dates, raisins from. I always go back to the little red boxes of raisins used to get, well, especially when I was younger, at lunch time, it would be a wee snack. The little tiny red box of raisins. Sweet. It smells classy, if that makes sense. It's got a class to it. It's one that I feel I'd be sitting in a big leather armchair, just in a nice surrounding. It's got that vibe to it. Soft undernote currants as well. There, it's great. A style that I really like. Well, enough chatter. Will we try it on the palate now and see what we get? So, slange everyone. The sticky toffee part goes away, but the cake stays there. It's like a coffee cake, light coffee cake, spongy, well baked, with your raisins, your dates on top. There's still that lemony underlying the refill cask there. There's something still about that kicking about. Longevity, it's not super thick, but there's an oiliness to it. And that leather note as well on the nose and top of it. It's that's great. That's a finely balanced whiskey. Not overly sherried, even though it sounds it. It's not got an under sherry note to it. It's just a balance of distillery plus finish. Even though they're similar to what they'd be nearly 50-50 with being 17 and an 8 year finish, so 9 years in refill and then 8 years in Pedro Jimenez. It's got a beautiful mouthfeel to it. As I say, there's that coffee cake, spongy coffee cake on the palate, longevity to the finish. It's sticky toffee pudding on the nose, lemon drizzle on the nose as well. It's like a 2-in-1 cake you're getting there. It's like buy one, get one free on your cakes at the cake shop. It's great. It's a balance that I like. Something I enjoy. The price on this as well, I think, is retail about £140 for a 17-year-old. That's great. You know, you can see other whiskies, PX finishes at that age, and you'll be paying a lot more. This is a stellar whiskey. If you asked what my favourite is out of the three now, the Manzanilla, the Palo Cortado, and the PX, I think every day this can change. I've enjoyed all of them. Today I'm enjoying this one more because I'm having it just now. I love that nose. That currant note's going there. It's like a softer Ribena, a ripe Ribena. It's a kind of soft drink here. Yeah, this one's going to go down quickly. As I say, it's been shared quite a lot, and I think it'll continue to be shared. Oh, I need to put a wee stash away for myself. I think it's going to be easy enough to reach for. Something that doesn't need water at all. I think water would just take away some of this, the notes from it. So I'm just going to keep it the way it is, 46% non-chill filtered and natural colour. Really enjoyable. Really glad I've got one. And because I'm off, I can go and pour myself another one as well. So I think that's going to be the plan. But I'll go and sit back. I'll finish this off. Maybe pour all three and have a wee tasting side by side and enjoy them all. But I can sniff that all day as well. That's great. But I'm going to go. I'm going to go and start enjoy my leave, my time off, and pour myself another one. But as always, join me next week. Let's talk whiskey. Slange.